everyone, I hope you're doing well and keeping safe. Now, keeping safe reminds me, I wouldn't have thought of saying keeping safe just a few months ago. Well, for that matter, we didn't think of so many things that had happened in past few months. Certainly, at least I didn't think of experts and analysts would be using Nike Swoosh to predict post-pandemic recovery. I wonder if Nike thought of it while designing their logo. Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back. So I read this article on Brookings Institute website, the ABCs of post-COVID economic recovery. The article was also referred by World Economic Forum on their website. The link is in the description. If you like, you can read both the articles. The Brookings Institute is a not-for-profit public policy organization based in Washington. Their mission is to conduct in-depth research that leads to new ideas in problem solving. So indeed, they did come up with these scenarios where they are predicting the post-COVID recovery by using alphabets and of course Nike Swoosh as well. So for today's discussion, we are going to only discuss 4 scenarios. So let's look at the first scenario depicted by letter Z, the most optimistic of all the scenarios. So the scenario assumes the post-COVID recovery would surpass the pre-corona baseline and temporarily makes up for all the downturn before returning to baseline, and it will form a letter Z. In simple terms, it means that all the things that we've been holding on to, the spending that we've been holding on to during the lockdown, as soon as the restrictions are lifted, we will go out and spend that money. And that will cause a sudden spike and before it goes down to the pre-corona baseline. The second scenario is still optimistic, but it does not expect the recovery to surpass that of pre-corona baseline. The recovery may look like letter V. So it drops in the way and it rises back in the same manner. Brookings Institute states, once the life returns to normal, everything is just as it would have been before. What it means? It simply means that all the things that we didn't do or we were holding on to during lockdown, after the lockdown, we will forgo them. We will not do them. And we will just hold on to the cash. But soon, life will return to as usual at the level, the growth becomes the same level of pre-corona. The third scenario, and here comes the Nike Swoosh recovery. It is slightly less optimistic as compared to second scenario, but it still assumes that the recovery would return back to pre-corona baseline. However, the recovery is going to take much longer than V-shaped scenario. So what it means? It means that life will return to normal. We will go back to our usual life, but we will still be hesitant to spend money. The consumer confidence will take time, will take a little bit longer to restore, and that will cause the economic recovery or economic activity to slow down. Probably if you draw that on a graph, you can see here it would more or less look like a Nike Swoosh. And that brings us to our last and fourth scenario, the L-shaped recovery. The most pessimistic prediction among all other scenarios. The scenario assumes that pandemic is going to have a lasting impact on growth, GDP, and economy, which might be equivalent to the times of Great Recession. Surely, we hope that wouldn't be the case, and we certainly hope for a faster, much quicker recovery, and even that surpasses pre-corona baseline and forms a letter Z shaped recovery. Kristalina Georgieva, the managing director of IMF, wrote on IMF blog, and I quote, "Global crisis like no other needs a global response like no other." And I unquote. The link to the article is in description. If you like, you can read it. One thing is for sure, that we would need all the alphabets of leadership, planning, innovation, transformation in order to accelerate post-COVID recovery. So far, we have discussed the recovery at macroeconomic level. However, at micro level, the recovery is going to vary from industry to industry. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think the post-COVID recovery would look like for overall economy and specifically for your industry. We'll see you next time. Till then, take care of yourself and everybody around you and stay safe.